Okay, we're going to get going. This is a meeting of the Fall River Commission on Disability. It's Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And I'll read the opening meeting statement, which is, pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting, or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay, it didn't sound like it. I don't know why. Okay. I gotta find. Okay, so the next item is roll call.
Chairman Dennis Pacelli.
Present.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco. Commissioner Lisa Silva.
Present.
Commissioner Danny Robillard.
Present.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Present.
Okay, thank you. The next item is public input. Do we have any public input? Do we have any public input? I guess not. Next is the approval of the minutes for the meeting of Wednesday, November 18th, 2020.
Motion to approve the minutes of the Fall River Disability Commission of November 18th, 2020.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor? Oh, you know what we got to do, guys? You're right. We got to do roll call. I'm sorry. Okay.
Chairman Dennis Pacelli.
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco. Commissioner Lisa Silva.
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard.
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Okay. We have no guests this month. The next is our updates, and I want to start with the ADA. I have corresponded with Chris Gallagher and Tammy Motino to see if there's an update on the ADA improvement grant that was to have been given in December by the Massachusetts Office on Disability, and I understand that Tammy is present.
I am.
Okay.
So we did receive $250,000 for a project grant, and our intentions are to level off the council hearing room floor, which will make it more accessible because it'll be, a clear level for anyone entering the room. And our other project, we plan on using some of those funds for, I believe, is for the city council chambers. We need to update and upgrade that handicap ramp in there. And that is the last that I knew of when speaking to Chris Gallagher.
Okay. It was our understanding that also some of that was to go towards signage, braille signage, etc., for Government Center. Do you know if that's the case?
It most likely is, Dennis. Chairman Pacelli. I was trying to reach out to Chris to see what else he had. I know we have been looking into signage and getting some pricing. I don't know how far he has gotten with that, but that is definitely a possibility. Okay. And I would say that that's probably going to happen.
what I'm going to suggest to the rest of the commission is we have a work group meeting at the end of the month. We are going to have a guest talk about audible pedestrian signals. But I also want to suggest that we work with Chris Gallagher because we were told that signage, including Braille, was part of the grant proposal. So we'll get a confirmation of that at the end of the month. Is that okay with the rest of the group, with our work group, and then report back to the full commission next month? Can I hear feedback on that?
I mean, if I may, this is Commissioner O'Neill Souza, through the chair.
Yep.
The grant writer did give me a copy this morning of the project scope, and the scope of the project is just what Tammy stated. It also includes the installation of Braille signs throughout Government Center.
Okay.
So that is listed in the project scope of the grant agreement.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask a question through you either to Ms. Martino or to my colleague Ann O'Neill Souza regarding what she just stated?
Yep.
To either one who wants to answer, do we know what the timeline is for completion of the project based on the grant criteria?
That grant work has to be completed by June of this year.
Of 2021?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so approximately 6 months. Very good. Thank you. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Okay. Policy.
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I apologize. Is it possible just for our records as a commission that we get a copy of that scope of that project for that grant?
Would
Sure,
that be okay?
I'll send that off to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, no problem. Do I hear other voices here? Okay. Next is policies. Vice Chair Debbie Pacheco. I don't think she's here, is she? Okay. There's no finance this month. Outreach, Lisa?
No new updates.
Okay. In our work group, we should start planning. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but we should at least think about and put plans in motion for Disability Awareness Day, which would be September 26th. But again, I don't know if it's going to happen, but let's at least think about what our needs are and maybe put some funds aside. Would that be? We could work that out in our work group meeting. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, old business. Wow. New business. Commissioner O'Neill, Commissioner O'Neill Souza, is there anything you want to add concerning? We want to congratulate Debbie Pacheco for her appointment to the Diversity Committee by Mayor Paul E. Coogan. Is there anything you need to add to that, or?
I mean, not really. Being it is an advisory committee, there is no formal appointment letter or need to be sworn. But Elena Pavid, who is the coordinator of the Diversity Committee through the mayor's office, has been notified in the letter that was forwarded to you of the appointment of Deb Pacheco to serve as a member of the Fall River Commission on the Committee on Diversity.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Could I ask an additional question on the diversity committee, please?
Sure.
I'm going to guess it's appropriate to direct it to my colleague.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, it's appropriate. Go ahead.
Ms. Ann O'Neill Souza on behalf of Mayor Coogan.
Yes.
Who are the other? Is it possible to know or get a list or a copy of the list of all the members and exactly what the mission statement of the diversity committee will be?
I can speak to Elena Pavid, who is the, as I said, coordinator of the diversity committee through the mayor's office, and ask that she forward a list and a mission statement, certainly.
I'd be very interested to know exactly what the focus of the committee as a whole is going to be, and how that relates to the committee as a whole, as well as to individuals with disabilities that we on this commission are charged with serving. So I'd appreciate that.
Absolutely, and I mean, just a little background on the committee. The committee was formed at the request of a number of citizens after the protests throughout the country for the Black Lives Matter movement, and the mayor thought it prudent to appoint, since we did not have one, a committee on diversity. And what they have done in the past was meet along with the police officers, a number of minority police officers and the group, to discuss issues that they felt were prevalent amongst their group. So Mrs. Pacheco will certainly be a great voice from the Commission on Disabilities to be a representative there, and the mayor wants to thank the committee for making a recommendation to have someone from the Disability Commission on this diversity committee. I will ask any.
I look forward to reading their mission statement, seeing who the members are, and seeing what they're able to achieve. Now, I just, if I could add one more point, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
I just want to make it clear, just so there's no confusion. A number of months ago, maybe the last time we met, or before that, I had talked about the mayor appointing a committee of like when the police chief and the fire chief and the director of community maintenance and other, anytime there was like a city emergency or a major city project, and all of those people get together like for snowstorms, I still think that type of committee needs to have a member of the Disability Commission on it as well, particularly when it comes to snow removal and things of emergency nature. That's another place where I believe this commission needs a seat at the table. So I just wanted to say that while the diversity committee is fine, that is not necessarily the type of committee that I was speaking of when I asked through a motion that the mayor appoint a member. But I mean, the diversity committee is fine, but I still think that we need like an emergency preparedness committee for snow removal, emergency evacuations, when there's hurricanes, anything like that. That when all of those officials meet, all department heads, along with emergency management, that a member of the disability community and commission be at that table as well. Thank you very much. I yield.
Well, Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza, I want to thank the mayor very much, because I do think that Commissioner Robilard's point is well taken. Also, And I think the diversity committee is important, especially where there's meeting with police officers and police department, because there have been incidences, maybe not in this community, but there have been instances in the country where disability had been misunderstood by police. People with autism, people who are deaf, even people who are blind, who have been the subject of lack of police training that have led to some serious injuries, including death in some cases. So I really do think that disability is an important part of the fabric of diversity and needs to have that kind of representation, and I'm glad the mayor followed through on that as well.
Absolutely, and if you would like to do what you did in the past with Commissioner Robilard's request to have an individual from the committee appointed to any type of emergency management committee, I certainly will make sure that gets to the mayor's attention as well.
I would like to, thank you very much. Can I have a motion from the commission that would give me the authority to write a letter to the mayor to address some of the other, such as emergency management, that Commissioner Robillard has expressed concerns about? If I can.
Motion so made to allow Chairman Pacelli, on behalf of the Fall River Disability Commission, to write a letter to Paul E. Coogan about the needs to have a member of the Disability Commission as part of an emergency management committee or any type of major project that is going on.
Okay.
Any kind of event, any kind of an emergency, anything like that.
Can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second the motion.
Oh.
Okay. You both seconded it. Okay, we're going to have a roll call vote.
Chairman Dennis Pacelli,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco, Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the next item, and this is the reason for my submitting an amended agenda. I happen to be reading the Southeast Center for Independent Living newsletter, which is located on 166 Troy Street and is a cross-disability center for independent living. What I mean by cross-disability is that it serves, all disabilities, not a specific class of individuals with disabilities, but all disabilities. And one of the items I read in the newsletter where I thought we could be of assistance was they had collected $2,248 to put towards an emergency fund, which is used to assist families and consumers with disabilities that they serve, consumers with disabilities and their families, in terms of purchasing groceries and other necessities. A number of organizations have done that in the blind community, but this is an independent living center that's right here in our backyard. And so I want to throw out the possibility of this commission donating some of our funds towards that effort, towards their fund, their emergency fund, to assist families and consumers with disabilities who need groceries and other necessities. And so I'll throw it open for discussion, and I'll entertain any motion.
Mr. Chairman?
If that's the case. Yep.
I'd like to make a motion that, before I do that, do we know approximately how much we have in the account right now?
I think I had about 290,000, if I remember, something to that effect.
493 or something close.
Yeah,
93, 147, and 18 cents.
I'm sorry, 190, not 290.
No,
193. Oh, it is.
No, it's 293.
Okay, all right. I'm wrong. Yeah, 293,000, Danny. Commissioner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. At this point, I'd like to motion that we donate $5,000 to the fund.
Okay. I need a second for a discussion.
I'll second.
Okay. Now a discussion. Are there any questions about this?
My only criteria would be is that it goes to a Fall River family who has a person with a disability in that family.
Do you want to let's make that part of the motion then, Commissioner? Is that okay?
Absolutely, I'll take that as a friendly amendment.
Okay.
In fact, I'll make it.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think the chair is allowed to make friendly amendments.
I'll make that amendment, and I'd be looking for a second and support on the amendment.
I'll second that.
Okay. Thank you.
Now we need a vote.
We need to vote on the amendment. Wait, go ahead. I'm sorry. Somebody wanted to say something?
We need a vote on the amendment and then a vote to accept as amended.
Okay. So first, this is a roll call vote on the amendment. Only consumers from Fall River or and their families. That's
consumer from Fall River with a disability.
Correct. Yeah, with a disability. Okay. Ready for a roll call?
Chairman Dennis Kelly,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco, Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Okay, now the motion for the amendment is passed. Now we will vote on the full motion. Roll call vote.
Chairman Dennis Caselli,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco, Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Okay. Motion has passed. Thank you all. That leads us to, is there any other new, am I missing something here? Is there any other new business? Okay, our next meeting will be Wednesday, February 10th at 2 p.m., and it will be from the Share Foundation. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll
So I
second.
hear a second. Okay, roll call?
Chairman Dennis Caselli,
Yes.
Vice Chairwoman Debbie Pacheco, Commissioner Lisa Silva,
Yes.
Commissioner Danny Robillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ann O'Neill Souza.
Yes.
Thank you all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, Dennis, are you